They took the win. That's the important thing. That is the key to it, isn't it?
I can press and talk this alright.
That's right. Next match, we've got China against Singapore. China,
Yeah, so I can press
second place on the season, on the series last year. Didn't get to win any of those cup finals, but they did feature in one final against Japan, losing 12 points to 7. So they are the real deal. They've been on the HSBC Women's World Series, where they shored up 11th spot out of the main teams, the 11 main teams. They finished in 11th spot, equal on 21 points with Fiji. And as we saw with Japan, once they entered the series, they found it very tough over the 6 or 7 events. 6 events this year, and they're waiting in the tunnel now. Singapore, well, they're going to be up against it here. They finished fortuitously almost in 7th spot last year, dueling it out at the bottom of the ladder with the South Koreans. They did actually lose to South Korea in one of those 7th, 8th playoffs, but they won the other 2 to sneak in and retain their spot in the series. And here is the Chinese team. Keep your eyes out for Gu Yao Yao in number 5. Actually, a few number changes here. She scored 59 points last year, and Xu Yang, she scored 46 points. And over there on the Singapore side, look out for players like Samantha Teo and a lot of new players actually, isn't there? I was talking to Daniel Chow, the general manager, Craig Chan, our referee. Daniel Chow, he's the GM of Singapore Rugby, telling me there's quite a few new young players, including a karate convert.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, can't we all just get along? I think it's number 2, Ko, Shirlene Ko. Let's see if she's on the field. And one would be expecting China to dominate the Singaporeans in this match.
New ball, quick, mark it. Yep.
China running from right to left in the yellow and red. Bit of a fumble, but they get underway. Here goes Xian. Straight away to the outside, and we've got Yang Feifei, and Yang's going to go round, and there is a sign of what they can do. 3 or 4 passes, and they've got gas, we know that. And just 45 seconds to get a meat pie.
Well, she stood out last season, didn't she? As a newcomer. And just you can see the difference. The crispness of the pass, the accuracy. Conversion is good, so that's a 7-pointer for China as we just look at the finishing now and stride for stride. Well, Singaporean defender was probably lucky to get that close.
And the conversion is good. Here's Chen Kei.
Yeah, got you.
That's a nice restart, and the Singaporeans just misjudging that, but one of the features of the women's series is the restarts. All the top 4 teams, they've got their kicking game going in the last series. It really, the kicking game of the women's teams has really come on in leaps and bounds.
Singapore ball.
It's Eunice Chu there with the shocking red hair. Low gets it to Eunice Chu. Nicely done. Good line out from Singapore. They get on the front foot now and they look up and they see a red and yellow wall. Yeah, big defenders. This is Rachel Wang Yun earning the penalty from Craig Chan. So we'll have to get to know this Singapore team all over again, Jed.
Nothing wrong with making new friends, Grant. There he is, the male model. Craig Chan, referee.
Look at the China defence here, just coming. Look at that, just counter-rucking. Trying to pick it up quick and go. At the bottom of the ruck there was Wu. Here comes Gu getting on the gas. 59 points last season, top point scorer for China. Here's Yang Fei, one try already. Looks to get the miracle pass out to Yu, but Eunice Chu gets in the way with a timely intercept. Rachel Wang Yun just trying to tidy that one up. Trying to put a couple of tacklers into every one of these contacts. There's another two, one low, one high. Over the ball straight away is Gu, and she's won that very quick penalty there from referee Chan.
Tackle!
Chen Kai-yi now just a couple of metres short, fishing it out as Jiang. Jiang looks up, goes around the outside. She's got the gas on them. Try number 2, and she's pointing.
Well, the try's been given. Good solid tackle there from Chong of Singapore. Stopped the movement, but you see the benefit of playing internationally on the World Series. China just able to operate at a tempo Singapore already finding very difficult to stay with.
Can't quite nail the extras though. Here we go, she just looks up, says I'm quick enough to get around all of these players.
Yeah, I got you, Paul. Thank you.
Had one player on the outside just as a foil. So they're 12-0 up.
Well, interesting start. Fairly strong start from China.
This time they go for the cheeky dribble, and it barely pops up into the hands.
No advantage.
And that was good thinking there. Wu Jianhong just couldn't quite get the bounce there. Singaporeans caught napping, as they say. Well, we see a big shove here from China.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me. It looks like they could take the ball pretty much any time they like. Set pieces humming away nicely. They stole the first line out. Well, they have a crack at the first put it. Oh, they do.
And they do, and they make it look easy. Straight over the top there, but Eunice Chu somehow, she's been instrumental in a couple of turnovers so far, but they turn over again and they win the penalty, China.
Chu's great work there, undone in the end. China not really giving up the fight and not giving anything at all.
There's Chen Kai-yi, straightens it up and bangs off the left, and there's no one in front. Try number 3 to China. Under the sticks, and there is their coach, Sean Horan. New to the scene, Sean Horan. New Zealand coach. Just in the role since March this year. Of course, we've had some classy coaches prior as well. He said, China knocked on my door at the beginning of December. And he said he was only keen if he could grow the game, the program, and not just coach the team. So he's taken on a big job as Horan, and as you'd expect from a career coach. It's a massive talent pool, and they get themselves organised. They could be permanently on that World Series. Here we go, a bit of a mistake there from the restart. Unusual. Eunice Chu gets them underway. She's into everything. Lo Yu Hoi. Don't think they've been in China's half there. Here goes Lo again. There's Hot Potato. They could throw a blanket over 5 of those Singaporeans. Trying to get on the outside is Sim Chu Hong. They're into the Chinese half, and getting busy on the ball was Gu Yao Yao, and she's won the turnover. Hooter's gone, but China want more. Every try matters in this series for seedings for the Olympic qualifiers. It's not just about winning the games, it's about winning huge. Yu Li Ping. Chen firing it wide, straightening up is Yang Shu. Yang Shu there, no one ahead, and they're going to get the 7-pointer after the hooter. And they're just sharpening the axe, aren't they, for their big matchup later today with Kazakhstan. That will be a pool decider, but it's try number 4 here.
Well, In the end, Singaporean defence stood up pretty easily. And it's probably a little bit unfair to compare the two sides too much. Singapore clearly on the rebuild. Hello, team. Yes, good to see you. And this Chinese side, well, they'll be looking to develop a strong peak. Performance through the Asia Rugby 7 Series is going to be, well, huge for the selection of the Olympic qualifying tournament. And Sean Horan building on the good work done by former coach Chad Shepherd, another Kiwi. Speaking of a third Kiwi, there he is, Matt Rodden.
The Fryer.
That's right. Fryer Tuck. Well, United Arab Emirates here, thinking, contemplating about the road ahead. It looks hot. I'll tell you what, if rugby players from Singapore look hot, it must be hot. Because Singapore doesn't get cold.
Sean Horan actually took the New Zealand Black Ferns 7 side to Rio 2016. And after that campaign, he wanted to spend more time with his family. Had some issues, lost his mother to cancer, had to care for his widowed father. Took on the Bay of Plenty men's 7 side in New Zealand 2018 before being approached by China. And here he is.
Well, that hire by China pretty much declares where they're going, isn't it? It's the Olympics or bust for the biggest country in the world.
Yep, Chinese Olympic Committee is very committed to rugby. They want to qualify for Tokyo, and they are up there, aren't they? Look at that from the restart, straight into the hands of Wu Jianhong. She gets run down, though, by Nur Shadar. And there's good support on the inside from Yang Ming, and she goes in for her first try. And China hit 5 for the game. And, well, the Singaporeans just let that fall right into the arms of Wu. And if we saw one thing last year, the bottom 4 teams really struggled with their restarts. They just didn't know how to contain them, diffuse them, and restart the game again. And the top 4 teams just run amok as we see the closing moments there of Yang's try. Conversion is good. Si Chan is on in number 6 for Singapore. She's one of their longest serving campaigners. This time they have a go at it. It goes backwards, so it's messy, but they've diffused it. Well done, Singapore. Chan there with the quick early pass, and taking it on the back foot is Chong, and she just says, I'm going to whirly this downtown, and they're into the Chinese half. It's a good chase as well by Chong. Makes a good tackle. Chinese look up and see a defensive line, a little bit of disarray, and a knock on. Easily gives the ball back to China.
Singapore. Hooker here. Hooker. Come. Singapore. Let's go. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
So put into Singapore. They're just inside the Chinese half. Chong now, she throws it over the top to Nur Shuhada. Back in their own half now, and look at that. China puts 3 defenders in there and just muscles Singapore off. Straightening up is Rachel Wang Yun. And this is better from Singapore, but it bobbles out the back, and that's just candy from a baby for China. And they got 60 metres to go here, and there's no defenders left. They're coming across to try and stop them at the pass, but Zheng Wenyan is going to coast around for yet another try to China. Piling the misery on here. That takes them up to 38 points, China.
Well, they're just hammering away, aren't they, China? There's absolutely no let up at all. Relentless. Taking the ball 2 passes and it's all over.
Got some speedsters, haven't they? It's going to be interesting when they come up against teams like Kazakhstan, who look like they brought the gas with them as well. And Japan, of course, with players like Susumi. It's going to be some good duels this weekend.
They're a fascinating outfit, China. Behind the scenes, they just have access to such remarkable talent, in such massive numbers. You can wheel players in and out virtually at will.
And having the wisdom to get someone like Sean Horan in, who's gone to the Olympics, you know, with the Black Ferns, that's, you know, that's an ace card they've played there. Having the finances and just the vision to aim as high as they can. They had Ben Gollings as well, right? The highest point scorer ever on the HSBC 7 series, coaching them for a couple of years.
Set.
That's what the Olympics does to you, doesn't it? Here they come again. This is Sim. They're trying to get the ball wide to Yan. And now it's an easy run around this time to Yang Fei Fei. She's going in for yet another try. The tiring Singaporean defence there, a little bit bamboozled. It's raining tries here.
Just a nice, easy play for China to execute. Change of angles, nice timed run. And into the gap. Look at that. Some nice hands. Snake eyes on the outside defender. And then bears off towards the post. That's a pretty fine example, ladies and gentlemen, of how you create some space for your run-up on a sevens pitch.
Yeah, that Singaporean defender, Ung, didn't know what to do. She had the ball in 2 hands. Show and go. There's a man enjoying his day in the sun. He's not sure whether to get on Instagram or watch this blitz here by China. It's 47-0 with 2 minutes remaining. It's a blowout. Not overly surprising. Singapore are always going to be battling this weekend. There's definitely 3 tiers, aren't there? There's the top 4. Then there's Thailand and Sri Lanka. And then we have Singapore and newcomers Malaysia. Struggling it out. Here's Yan. Yan Mei Ling just looks up, turns, and Ung is chasing her, but they don't come much simpler than that. Good eyes up rugby from Yan Mei Ling.
Oh, that looks more like experience versus inexperience, to be honest. The ability to size up that situation. Look at this, great bit of body work here. Took the hit, glanced it off, and then got on gas going back the other way. Good rugby.
Okay, so we've cracked the 50, the half ton, 54-0. And you will not see China take their foot off the gas here. Every try counts. And as you mentioned, Jed, these individuals are playing for form and for selection as well. If they can make it into the, well, they will be in the Olympic qualifiers, but there's personal careers on the line as well. And on right on the hooter, China are going to go under the post for one more try to seal off a pretty emphatic victory here. They have sent out a warning shot. Shots fired here by China. Kazakhstan, Hong Kong, Japan, beware, you've been put on notice. As we just look through this final try again, it was a simple matter of a show and a go, and the Singaporeans fell for it. They end up with a donut. Tough first outing for them, and a very impressive display by China, Jed.
Yeah, well, hats off to the Chinese ladies for the way they've started the tournament. That result will be getting around the ground pretty smartly, I would have thought. 61 points to 0 in 14 minutes. It's pretty good going, really, when you think about it. I mean, like, that's really good going. And Singapore, you know, they've got some courage, they've got some grit, those girls. But they were left grasping at shadows, unfortunately. So China away, Kazakhstan away. And soon we will see the entrance of Hong Kong, where the weather has been